Handy Andy on location at WebSummit Vancouver at a very interesting booth because this is one of the original tech companies, and I have the man, the myth, the legend, Manav Gupta from IBM. He's the CTO, the Chief Technology Officer. Hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
Now, you got to remind, I'm just going to go by memory.
Sure.
IBM, if I stand correct, stands for International Business Machine, correct?
You got it.
And how
Good
long
job.
has IBM been in business for?
So in Canada for over 100 years, 114 years.
Yes.
And globally for about 117. So we know a thing or two about tech. We've seen a few things in our lifetime.
Well, a lot of people might know about IBM about Watson because it was I can't remember when it was, but Watson.
2011.
2011,
Yes.
beat Garry Kasparov in a chess match.
Well, that was 1997.
That was 97. See, I was in high school at that time, and that was a really big deal.
It was a big deal.
Now, we are in this age of AI, LLMs, right? We have Siri, we have Alexa, but Watson's the original, the OG.
It's the OG, that's right.
What is Watson up to these days?
So I'm glad you asked. And as you said, so AI as a term was coined way back in 1956.
Yes.
So the tech has existed for a while. 1997, as you mentioned, was the machine learning, deep learning algorithms, where Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov.
That's right.
2011 was the year of Jeopardy, where Watson, the original OG,
Yes.
defeated Ken Jennings at the time at playing Jeopardy. So since then, we've come a long way, right? It almost is ancient history. So 2011, that version of Watson, it did not have reinforcement learning, didn't quite have the transfer learning.
Yes.
Transformers architecture hadn't quite been invented yet. So what we have done now is, in the last few years, we have been on a journey of developing purpose-built large language models for the enterprise. So we call these models the Granite family of models, and we have open sourced all 4 generations so far. We have these models for code, for text generation, for time series or working on structured data, as well as geospatial models that we worked on with NASA for long-range and short-range weather prediction.
I had to ask you, I see all these, like foosball, like what is going on your booth here?
So this is just a demonstration of what AI can do, right? So how do you make AI more accessible?
Well, let's go here.
Sure.
Why don't you come over here? We're going to put
Absolutely, yeah.
camera. And let's get the camera to show what's going on here, and you can explain what
Sure.
we're looking at. So they're
So
playing, this is real time?
This is real time. So this is a foosball table, which has a bunch of sensors into it. There is a camera in there as well. So then as each of the users, they start playing, so that is tracking the direction, the speed, the impact. There is both, I'll call it traditional AI, as well as generative AI baked into this as well. So then what it does is, it then gives you, at the end of the game, a summary.
Okay, let's just stand over here. Maybe you can explain.
Okay. So when this thing comes back, it'll, as the players play this, so this has been trained to have a little bit of a behavior of a podcaster or a commentator, right? So and we can get this thing to be snarky, we can get this thing to be polite, we can get this to be informative.
Yeah.
So what it does is it'll come up with, hey, this. So because it's tracking the motion and the movement as well, if there's a player who's really passionate and you really try to protect on the foosball table with a lot of passion.
Yeah. It'll recognize it.
It'll recognize that.
Wow.
You'll see then that emerge in the text, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see that the position of each of the players is marked as well. And so when they move each of the players, you'll see that in real time. The ball is being tracked as well.
That's like almost with like almost zero latency.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's just a small demonstration of what AI can do. I mean, again, the idea is, how do you make this more interactive? Because a lot of times I find when it's layperson, right, they might look at AI as either GPT or this, cybernetic type of a thing. How do you make it more real to them in simple terms? That's the idea behind this.
I love this. Well, let's go to the other side now.
Absolutely,
I want to see, this is one of the most amazing booths here at Web Summit. Now we got ping pong.
Yep.
Is it the same kind of concept?
It's the exact same concept, right?
Okay, let's go stand over here.
So now, look, so what it's going to do, and by the way, the tech behind this is being used, is what IBM uses for US Masters, the golf tournament as well.
Is that right? Okay.
Absolutely, right? It's. I was just talking to somebody else, and they commented without me prompting that it's the best golfing app that they've seen. And again, it's about the data. So what it does is it collects a lot of data about the player. how they performed in the past on each specific hole, how they play in the rough.
Can it predict how they're going to do based on
So it does do prediction, but remember, predictions are always fraught with, how did the system do? And it almost becomes like the system is rated on, a single prediction. However, a couple of years ago, when there was a match between, I believe it was Federer and Andy Murray, I believe, and Watson had predicted the correct winner.
Really?
Before and against the odds, by the way. So there is a little bit of prediction there that's built in as well. But I mean, again, in this incarnation, think of the tech as trying to figure out new ways. And look, what is this thing? Hey, there was a miscue.
Wow, that's amazing. Let's get the camera to show this. That's
right.
Yeah.
Because again, what it's doing is it's taking the data from all of the elements and generating, momentum is on whose side? It's on Nina's side. And then it'll tell you that, okay, oh, she missed it on the net, right? And it shows you that in real time. Hey, that's a free point, a double bounce for Daniel. So listen, we all go to a GPT and generate text.
Yeah.
This is adding to data to that in real time. That's what you're seeing.
I feel like in the future, when you're watching live sports, you might have like a real human commentator and then the AI commentator who is giving all these analytics.
So check out the US Golf app, US Open Golf app.
I heard about yes.
That's exactly what Watson is doing there.
And it was doing commentating as well.
That's exactly what it does. So what it's doing is it's describing the video in real time.
That's amazing.
Right.
So it's not just about computers anymore.
It's no longer just about computers. It's about making technology accessible.
Manav, if people want to find more information about what IBM is doing in this space, where do they have to go?
So certainly IBM.com, right? That's a good starting place. Or search IBM watsonx. That's the best way to find information. And listen, anybody that's watching, if they want to get started, they can absolutely get a free trial and get started, right? Within Canada or globally, right? At the same time, we offer custom boot camps as well to enable and train people on AI, as well as agentic AI. So there are lots of different ways of getting engaged and getting started.
Well, in this era of Siri, Alexa, you have to remember the original Watson. And Watson's still around, and he might be the next commentator for live sports when you see it. Manav, thanks so much.
Thank you for having me. All right, thank you so much.
Andy, signing out from WebSummit Vancouver.